Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates in the contested South China Sea, where the waves carry not just ships but the ambitions of nations. Tensions simmer just below the surface. Here, a new chapter is being written in steel and resolve, as the world watches closely. As of October 26, 2025, the U.S. Congress is finalizing a landmark decision, one that could shift the balance of power in the region. The plan: to transfer a retired American warship to the Philippines, a move that has been months in the making and debated in the halls of Washington. This is more than a routine handover, it's a strategic maneuver with far-reaching global implications, signaling a renewed commitment to regional allies. The South China Sea is a vital maritime artery, a lifeline for global commerce, with trillions of dollars in trade passing through its waters every year. Oil, gas, and goods from every continent flow through these lanes, connecting economies and livelihoods. Any conflict here could disrupt the global supply chain, sending shockwaves through markets and affecting everything from fuel prices to the food on our tables. By transferring this warship, the U.S. is sending a clear and unmistakable signal. It stands ready to uphold freedom of navigation and defend international law, even in the face of growing challenges. Philippine vessels have faced increasing hostility from Chinese ships, turning what should be routine patrols into dangerous confrontations. Each encounter raises the stakes, testing nerves and resolve. This warship is more than just a vessel. It's a deterrent, giving the Philippines a stronger hand to defend its sovereignty and protect its people. It represents hope for a more secure future. The journey of this ship is a physical manifestation of a diplomatic and strategic pivot, a symbol of shifting alliances and the enduring quest for stability in troubled waters. As the world watches, this decision raises urgent questions about the future of global security, the cost of peace, and the responsibilities of nations in an increasingly uncertain world. The U.S.-Philippine relationship is rooted in a century of shared history, beginning with the American colonial period at the turn of the 20th century. After the Spanish-American War, the Philippines became a U.S. territory, and for nearly 5 decades, American influence shaped the island's political, economic, and educational systems. This era left a lasting imprint, from the English language to democratic institutions, and set the stage for a complex partnership that would evolve over generations. During World War II, Americans and Filipinos fought side by side against Japanese occupation, forging bonds of sacrifice and resilience. The shared struggle for liberation deepened mutual trust and respect, and the memory of these battles continues to resonate in both nations' collective consciousness. In 1951, the two countries formalized their alliance with the Mutual Defense Treaty, a landmark agreement that pledged each nation to come to the other's aid in the event of external attack. This treaty has served as the bedrock of their security partnership, reinforcing a sense of shared destiny and responsibility in the Asia-Pacific region. Throughout the Cold War, U.S. military bases at Clark and Subic Bay became vital outposts for American power projection in the Pacific, hosting thousands of troops and serving as logistical hubs for regional operations. These bases were not just military installations, they were symbols of the alliance's strategic importance. Even after the closure of these bases in the early 1990s, the security relationship endured. Both nations adapted, finding new ways to cooperate through joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and disaster response efforts, demonstrating the alliance's flexibility and resilience. Over the years, the alliance has weathered political shifts and challenges, including moments when Manila explored closer ties with China, or questioned the value of its U.S. partnership. Domestic debates and changing administrations have tested the relationship, but the underlying strategic interests have remained strong. Yet, as tensions in the South China Sea have grown and pressure from Beijing has intensified, the Philippines has repeatedly found reassurance in its traditional alliance with the United States. Public opinion and national security concerns have often pulled Manila back toward Washington. Under President Marcos Jr., the alliance has entered a new phase of revitalization. The U.S. now enjoys expanded access to Philippine bases under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, and both militaries have increased the scale and frequency of joint exercises, signaling a renewed commitment to regional stability. The recent transfer of a U.S. Navy warship to the Philippine fleet is the latest chapter in this evolving story, a direct product of the Mutual Defense Treaty's enduring relevance and a testament to the ongoing trust between the two nations. In 2023, the United States clarified that its defense commitments extend to attacks on Philippine Coast Guard vessels, further strengthening the security umbrella and reassuring Manila of American support amid rising maritime tensions. This warship transfer is not an isolated gesture, but part of a century-long partnership built on shared values, mutual interests, and a history of standing together in times of crisis. The vessel itself stands as a tangible symbol of a promise made over 70 years ago. A promise to defend, to cooperate, and to face new challenges together as allies. As the region faces renewed threats to peace and security, the U.S.-Philippine alliance remains a cornerstone of stability, ready to adapt and respond to whatever the future may hold. The South China Sea's calm surface hides a fierce geopolitical storm. China's sweeping 9-line claim overlaps with the exclusive economic zones of its neighbors, including the Philippines, despite a 2016 tribunal ruling against Beijing. China has built islands and militarized the region, while Filipino fishermen face harassment and exclusion from their traditional waters. The Philippines documents these aggressive actions, with every resupply mission to outposts like Second Thomas Shoal turning into a high-stakes standoff. As China's shadow grows, the Philippines stands on the front line of a global contest over maritime freedom. In 2025, tensions in the South China Sea reached a boiling point. In August, a near collision between Chinese and Philippine vessels at Scarborough Shoal brought the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty into sharp focus. Throughout the fall, Chinese Coast Guard ships used water cannons against Philippine boats, endangering crews and escalating the crisis. Manila condemned these provocations, while Beijing insisted it was defending its territory. These incidents are part of a deliberate pattern of gray zone warfare, asserting control without open conflict. China's declaration of a nature reserve at Scarborough Shoal is seen as a move to legitimize its claim and restrict Philippine access. U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, have called out these actions as coercive. The risk of miscalculation is now dangerously high, making a credible deterrent more urgent than ever. As the crisis in the South China Sea intensifies, the U.S. Congress has decided that it can no longer remain on the sidelines. The situation has reached a tipping point, and lawmakers are now taking concrete steps to address the growing threat. Authorizing the transfer of a U.S. Navy warship to the Philippines is a powerful signal. It demonstrates rare bipartisan unity in Washington, as both Republicans and Democrats recognize the urgency of countering China's increasingly aggressive actions in the region. This move is not just about military hardware, it's about reaffirming America's commitment to its allies. During a pivotal Senate hearing in October, lawmakers from both parties made it clear that simply watching events unfold is no longer an option. They agreed that the U.S. must take a more active role in supporting the Philippines and upholding international law. The transfer of the warship is just the beginning. It will immediately strengthen the Philippines' ability to patrol its own waters and defend its sovereignty. This step is seen as a crucial measure to deter further escalation and reassure the Filipino people. Beyond military aid, Congress is also working to secure stable, long-term funding for Philippine maritime security. Lawmakers warn that any reduction in support could undermine the alliance and embolden China, sending a dangerous message to the region. This marks a significant, strategic shift for Congress, moving from issuing statements to actually building up the capabilities of a key ally. The passage of new legislation is a clear indication that the U.S. is committed to action, not just words. The legislative push ensures that support for the Philippines is now firmly established as a matter of national interest. It's not just a temporary political decision, but a long-term commitment to regional stability and shared security. While the warship transfer is the most visible part of this effort, Congress is also focused on ensuring that funding and oversight remain strong. High-level hearings and ongoing reviews are vital to making sure the support is effective and sustained. Through these actions, Congress is sending a clear message: supporting the Philippines is not just about helping an ally, it's about protecting U.S. interests and maintaining peace and security in the Indo-Pacific region. The vessel is a retired U.S. Navy warship, likely a frigate or high-endurance cutter, chosen for its patrol and sovereignty mission capabilities. Equipped with advanced radar and surveillance, it can monitor vast areas and maintain a persistent presence in contested waters. The transfer includes spare parts, technical documentation, and comprehensive crew training. Previous U.S. ship transfers have already strengthened the Philippine fleet, but this one comes at a moment of acute tension. The ship's endurance and size make it a visible symbol of Philippine sovereignty, especially at flashpoints like Second Thomas Shoal. Its robust construction offers protection against aggressive tactics like water cannons. For the Philippines, it's a formidable and much-needed platform. This steel sentinel gives Filipino sailors the confidence to uphold their nation's rights. The warship transfer is part of a broader U.S. strategy to bolster Philippine defense and deepen regional security ties. Plans are underway for a joint U.S.-Philippine ammunition plant at Subic Bay, the largest U.S. defense investment in the Philippines since the Cold War. This facility would boost the Philippines' defense industry and pre-position munitions for rapid response. The U.S. Navy is also leasing a massive storage facility at Subic Bay to support a new Marine Corps prepositioning program. These moves transform Subic Bay into a critical logistics hub, ready for crises or security threats. Combined with expanded base access, these investments weave the Philippines into a resilient regional security network. The warship is the public face, but the long-term infrastructure is the real foundation of a stronger alliance. Experts agree. The warship transfer is a timely, targeted move that strengthens the alliance without escalating conflict. Defense analysts urge the U.S. to exploit China's vulnerabilities strategically, while lawmakers stress the bipartisan consensus for action. Congressional letters highlight the urgency, calling China's actions a direct threat to U.S. interests and treaty obligations. China condemns the move, accusing the U.S. of meddling and stoking regional instability while insisting disputes should be handled locally. Philippine officials welcome the support, seeing the warship as a critical enabler for both defense and diplomacy. They remain committed to dialogue but refuse to be intimidated or surrender their rights. In Manila, credible defense is seen as essential for meaningful diplomacy. The incoming warship is viewed as an instrument for preserving peace by raising the cost of aggression. The journey of this American warship is more than a military transfer. It's a symbol of an alliance tested and reaffirmed. It signals that U.S. commitments are backed by action, not just words. For the Philippines, it's about protecting sovereignty and livelihoods. For the world, it's about upholding a rules-based order. The events of 2025 show how quickly tensions can escalate, threatening global stability. The broader U.S.-Philippine strategy is a long-term investment in a resilient alliance. In an interconnected world, the security of one nation is tied to the security of all. Competing visions for the Indo-Pacific are at stake, a contest between spheres of influence and sovereign cooperation. The voyage of this warship is a testament to the enduring power of alliances and the need to actively defend peace.